My name is Abby. Thank you so much for being here. If you don't know who I am, I was active duty in the Navy for 6 years. I've been in the reserves for about a year now. I separated out of the Navy back in 2022, April 2022. I was out for about a year, and then they offered some nice bonuses for the reserves, so I decided to join back up in the reserves in 2023, and I have been in the reserves for about a year now. So I have quite a few experiences. I was also dual military whenever I was active duty. Still dual military technically, but it doesn't feel like it compared to when I was active duty. Because my husband serves as a career recruiter now. He used to be an aviation ordnanceman. He switched his job in the Navy, and now he'll be a career recruiter for the rest of his tours. But anyways, so this video is going to be a, basically I'm revitalizing a video I put up about 6 or 7 years ago now, and it was a Navy barracks tour. When I initially put this up, I was brand new to the Navy, did not know a lot, didn't have any experience, hardly at all. I just wanted to show my barracks tour. I kept it up for years after that, even though it kind of put a burden on me to keep it up, honestly, just because there was a lot of negativity in the comments. I honestly was getting roasted out of my mind about my makeup at the time, which it was pretty like ridiculous. I did look more clownish than anything, but still I was getting roasted about my makeup. I had a major eyebrow blindness. I hope I don't have that issue anymore, but regardless. And not only that, there was a lot of negativity in the comments from either old military or different branches, or just, you know, just people not coming together and seeing eye to eye, really. So, and I think a big issue of it is because maybe I didn't handle the video the right way on putting information together. It was just kind of like, oh, let me just show my barracks, like no big deal. So while I don't have a barracks now, I do have that video footage from it. So I am going to show that because I do think it's useful. I do think it can give someone some idea of what potentially a room might look like that they're going to be staying in if they join the Navy, if they're in Norfolk, and if they're in the X2 building. So I think that is a positive, and I didn't want to just take it down because I know when I posted it there wasn't a lot out there at the time to show anybody what this room looks like. You know, you're just kind of going into it eyes closed and hoping for the best. So I think there does serve a purpose there to put it up. So anyways, I'm revitalizing that. I deleted the rest of the video because it got copyrighted off of some music I was using in it, and I don't know, it just wasn't, I didn't like it. I was basically embarrassed by it. So I extracted the video part of it, the important part, to show you all what the barracks looks like. So it is old, it does reflect that, so please keep that in mind and be graceful on it because I don't have access to a barracks to re-record that, unfortunately. Before I show that video, I just wanted to go over a few things. Basically, what I think is important to preface in this video and state clearly here is that just because I have this barracks room does not mean that is what you will get. There is a varying range of barracks, and the quality and the amenities that are offered to you in these barracks in the entire Navy. I don't know what San Diego has, I don't know what Florida has. This is Norfolk, Virginia at the time in 2017. So I do not, just count on not getting this barracks room. A lot of them are really old, are really run down. As Navy sailors are coming through them, they're not taking major care of them, so I don't know what this barracks even looks like anymore. It could be really worn down at this point. At the time of recording, it was a brand new barracks, so everything was fresh, everything was nice, it was beautiful, honestly. Like, I'm very grateful I got to stay in a barracks of that quality, especially afterwards, and seeing some of the barracks that I have seen since then. I'm very grateful, I'll tell you that. So I just want to preface that you might not get this barracks, and to be aware of it. You might get something that has way less amenities, that doesn't have as nice of a setup, that's honestly kind of gross, but I think it's important to at least show this because there is a potential out there to get a nicer barracks if it is available to you. I also want to preface that not only might you not get a barracks up to the par of what this was when I recorded it, but you also might not even get a barracks at all. Say you go to the Navy, you graduate boot camp, you graduate A school, and then now you're going to your first command. It could be a ship. And if you are going to a ship, you're not guaranteed a barracks. You might be staying on that ship for the first year. You might be on there until you get caught up on quals, and then you might be eligible to get a barracks. It might be rank related. I don't know. It's really variable, and it honestly depends on your command and what they require of you. So I just want to make you aware that you might not even get a barracks when first joining the Navy. Now, outside of the barracks, I did want to talk about some other housing that I did experience while I was in the Navy. So there is PPV, which is privatized housing, and then there is off-base housing, which is BAH. So I've had both of those. So I stayed in the barracks when I first got there in 2017, as you'll see in the following video that I'm going to play soon. After that, I submitted a request to get privatized housing, PPV. With my command, it got approved because I met all my command's requirements. Once that got approved, I then went to the housing department, gave them my approved special request sheet. They put me on the list. So now that I'm on the list, I just basically wait until my name comes up for privatized housing. Now you might be wondering, what is privatized housing? The only difference between privatized housing and the barracks is now you get your own room, but you will still share a common area with a roommate. So now, as you'll see in the video, while I have a roommate currently in my little dorm room or barracks, with privatized housing, I don't have that. I have my own complete room. Now again, PPV is variable. There is bad PPV and then there is nice PPV. There's PPV where you have your own bathroom, and then there's PPV where you share the bathroom. I got the one where I shared the bathroom and the common area, and it was an incredibly old building on Norfolk base. It was really gross. Honestly, I would have rather stayed in X2 in the barracks with a roommate rather than go to the PPV that I did. But decisions were made. It's okay. Regardless, I had a place to lay my head at night, so I'm grateful no matter what. So that is PPV. Now, there is off-base housing. And you might be, well, why are you talking about this? Only people that are married get off-base housing, or you have to reach a certain rank before you get off-base housing, which is true. But sometimes, depending on the capacity of the barracks on base, there might be a chance where a seaman or a seaman recruit could potentially request to get off-base housing. I don't know how often this happens. On Oceana, whenever I was stationed in Virginia Beach, that happened a lot more than it did on Norfolk. On Norfolk, it was kind of rare to see it reach capacity, but on Oceana, like, it could reach capacity pretty quickly from what I saw with my sailors. So a lot of them had the opportunity to get off-base housing earlier than E5 per se. So that was something that was available to you. Now, it's kind of the same deal. You have to meet the requirements that your commands put forth, so whether that's getting qualified or, you know, passing your PRT or PFA, all those things. You have to meet all of those requirements, and if you meet them, then you can submit a special request sheet through your command, and if it gets approved, then you could submit that to the housing department, and then you're put on the list. Now, once you're on that list, again, you just wait and you just chill out in your barracks until that point, or your PPV, wherever you're at, and once you hit the top of the list, they'll give you a call and they'll say, hey, we have this, you're now available for this option, blah, 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 blah. So once that happens, they're gonna give you an end date. And why I'm bringing up off-base housing is mainly for junior sailors, and because I didn't know this. I got off-base housing because I got married, but for anyone, whether you're getting married or not, eventually you're gonna leave the barracks or wherever you're at, and there's going to be an end date. That end date that they give you, like the move out date, guess what? That's not the date you're necessarily going to get BAH. You might get BAH a month later, 2 months later, 3 months later. I've even seen 6 months later. So in between that move out date and the date you get BAH, you're fronting all that money for housing outside. And that's expensive, especially if you're an E3 or below and you're only making like $900 a month. That's a lot of money to pay an apartment, even if you have a roommate, especially with rising housing costs. So the only reason I'm bringing this up is for people that are potentially thinking about joining the Navy, that are in the Navy, and then have this option available to them. Please think about financially preparing for something like that. So keep 3 to 6 months of your money on hand. or like in savings or an emergency fund rather. And so if something like this opportunity were to come up, you're ready for it and you're saving in advance and can prepare for it. Or the moment that you enter on that list, start saving it. We have Fleet Family Support. Go see them. Let them fix you up a budget, and then you follow that and you can put your savings aside so that you're ready for when this comes, because I've seen too many sailors pull out credit cards and put all of their housing on those credit cards, and then eventually they just don't pay it off. Like even though they get backdated all that money, because you do, from the date that you are moving out and get approved for BAH, you will get backdated that money. So you'll get a big chunk of money all at once, hopefully. Ideally, you're supposed to. But it's just, you got to be prepared, okay? So that's all. The only reason I'm bringing it up is just to make sure that, you know, you're preparing for it and you're thinking in advance, because you don't want to put yourself in in a situation where you're in financial hardship. I've seen it too many times with too many sailors. So yes, just prepare and make sure that you are financially ready to take on something like that. Because while it is exciting, while it is a great opportunity, and I think it's amazing, I do think that people put themselves in situations that they probably shouldn't be in too soon. I've done it myself on multiple occasions. I've seen people do it. Just set yourself up for success. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so I will be doing a voiceover for this. I took out the original audio because, much like the video, as you can see, it's very old, wasn't super great quality, so I thought this might just be a better alternative. So, getting started, the first area you guys are looking at is the bathroom area. So this is a shared space between me and my roommate. The next area I'm going to be walking into is the sink area, which in this area we both got our own sink and got our own closet, which was really nice because for all the products we had, it was good to have our own space. Now moving on into the sleeping area. As you can see, it's pretty spacious. Personally, I never felt like me and my roommate were on top of each other when we were at the room in the same time. We kind of just, stayed in our own little space and didn't invade each other's. What's an also benefit about this room is they have plenty of storage. So as you can see, there's 2 drawers under both of our beds for extra storage, and then also that gap so that you could use that too. Now I'm just showing you our desks. Perfect space if you were in school and you had to get some schoolwork done. Utilized it a lot. Now moving into the common area. So this was shared by all of our bunkmates. I want to say that's what you call it, but whatever. Anyways, it was a great space to have people over or just hang out together if you did utilize it. You had a flat screen TV available to you, which is super nice. Now I'm just showing you kind of our view of that little corridor down below. I thought this was such a pretty view. I loved it when I was there. I remember this fondly. I just thought it was so pretty for some reason. I don't know. I liked looking into the corridor. Now, moving on, I'm just giving you a little snapshot. We had a little bar area. Another great amenity that we had access to was we actually had our own washer and dryer unit in our barracks. That's usually not common. I feel like usually there's just a laundry room that the entire barracks utilizes. In this case, we got our own. We also had a utility closet, so we personally, this is where we would store all of our cleaning supplies, our vacuum, anything that we need to clean the common area or our own rooms. Now I'm just showing you that we have a dishwasher, we have a sink, we also have a stove and an oven and a microwave. We have the full meal deal here. And there was also plenty of cabinet space for 4 people, so there was never any issues on that front. So as you can see, there are barracks out there that offer tons of amenities that meet all your needs. So let me know what you think below. Please like, subscribe, and thank you guys so much for watching. Bye! See you next time.